Before we get into this, here's my lovely mother.
Hi, this is Kramer's mom and grandma of triplets. Just want to warn you that some of the content on this show is not necessarily parentally or grandparently approved. Just be careful. It is the friend's version. That can be a little risque at times. So if you have young ears, just be forewarned. You may want to tune them out. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, and we're also on YouTube. You want to hop on Kramer and Jess on YouTube. Actually, we're Kramer and Jess everywhere now, officially.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but we were Kramer.Jess on TikTok for the longest time. We requested to be Kramer and Jess.
Did we delete the other account?
Yeah, it was deleted.
But like we did everything we had to do like over a year ago. It
like
just took
over and over and over
yes,
and over
it
again.
just took them that long
It was
to get
crazy.
to like our support requests.
I just
Like,
happened
Dude, is that why you think it took
I
a
don't
year?
know. I
I
mean,
feel like they must have to go through so many. So I don't
Oh,
know.
that's
I just hopped on.
true.
I was like, wait, are we Kramer and Jess fine? We just gave up on it because we were like,
Yeah.
what? We sent probably 1,000 requests.
Because it's been over a year.
I mean, and I was like, whatever. We're just Kramer.Jess, I guess, on TikTok. Whatever, it's fine.
Because you hadn't messed with it recently,
No,
or neither
it's
had
been,
I.
It's been
So that's what's
forever.
really
And all of a
funny.
sudden, I was like, oh, wait, we're Kramer and Jess. That's cool.
So
And then,
slay.
boom.
That's crazy.
So, ta-da, we're Kramer and Jess everywhere now. Let's actually start with Charlotte today because I feel like we have a lot to discuss with this. Charlotte, the
Yes.
floor is yours today. Welcome back, by the way, from your little trip. Where did you go, Charlotte?
Charlotte went to Charlotte.
Yeah, she did.
It was crazy. It was like everywhere I went, I felt famous because it would be like National Building of Charlotte,
Oh,
Charlotte Yoga, and then the grocery store would be like, "Thank you, Charlotte." And I'm like,
that's so
guys,
cool. That's really, really
stop."
cool.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun place to go for the first time. It was definitely like culture shock driving down there because like there's so many things about the South that are like different from here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Like,
always, when I go
why do
home-
they not have like like they have like rest stops, but they don't have like welcome centers. Like, you know how we have like
Interesting. Is
the
that
big
true?
ones with like all the at least the way I went.
I don't
it
know,
was so
maybe.
weird. And then like it was just so many like
You're like,
2-lane roads.
you're like, why do they have
and,
racism down
like,
here so bad?
I mean, no, but like the culture shock of like all the
No.
billboards started being like, "Do you know which way you're going?"
Yeah, to hell.
Literally, and I was like, "Whoa!"
Did you see all like the Trump mega stores? That's what always throws me off when I go to the
Okay,
South. There's
I
like
must have
so
been
many.
Wait,
blessed
what?
In
There's
my
there's
route.
Trump mega stores everywhere in the
Wait,
South.
like to sell his merch?
Yeah.
You're
No,
lying.
everywhere. Like that always throws me off when I go down there. Like in Tennessee and Georgia, it's like you see like Trump mega stores, and then you go in there and buy Trump merchandise.
Don't think I saw a single
Maybe not in
Trump
Charlotte
sign
per se,
on
but,
my whole
but if you
trip.
drive though, if you
Oh,
which
drive,
is kind
I'm
of
surprised.
crazy, and
yeah.
I'm impressed by. So
Yeah,
that
was
a
that was
slay.
jarring. And this is not even like a political thing. I just think it's crazy that like, wow, there's like a anybody superstore.
Yeah, it's
is
crazy.
like, wow, that really threw me off because I was like, wow, that's
like even if I saw a store just dedicated to like
A
Madonna or
person.
something,
Yeah,
I'd
I would just be like, wow,
"Whoa,
this whole
really
area
love her."
is like obsessed with this one person. That's pretty wild. So I'm trying to think what else is like so different about the South that always throws me off.
Mm.
There's
Oh, totally different food chains.
I was gonna say
Ooh,
like,
that's fun.
It
there's-
almost feels like being in the Matrix.
there's
Ooh.
things that are huge in the South. There's a ton of buffets, and there's also a ton of Japanese steakhouses. I don't know if you
Mm.
noticed that.
Mm,
There's a Japanese steakhouse, which is weird because it's not, I would say the West Coast has a lot more Japanese people, but like the Southern people love going to like hibachi style Japanese steakhouse. I don't know what it is. There's like one per corner in Georgia.
Is it like a
Interesting.
chain though?
Some of them are, and some are just like local ones. I don't
Okay.
know what it is. Like they love Japanese
That's
steakhouses, but
funny.
I feel like anywhere else I go, there's not. Because I remember when I moved to California, I was like, "Where's the Japanese steakhouse?" They were like, "We have the Benihana's, and there's like one." I was like, "What do you mean there's one? Like I can get to there's 15 in eyesight when I
That's
back in Georgia."
funny.
It's weird. Yeah, we're culture shock.
Interesting.
Well, Charlotte, would you like to share anything else about your trip that you want to talk about? Or
No, that's pretty much it. No, I'm
okay,
just
thanks,
kidding.
Char.
Well, I mean, do you want to
It's your
say?
segment.
Well,
It's
you
your
had your
segment.
whole thing you were going to go into about
Well,
once you post it. It's
Listen, here's the
public.
thing. We're very respectful on the show about there's things that are things that are private in our lives, and there's things that are, that we don't talk about, and then there's things that that we do talk about. And I'm very respectful that we have a pretty tight rule in the show that, like, hey, we can talk about things off the air,
Mhm.
and there's a really safe space with that. And so I've known some things about Charlotte for some time, and obviously we just haven't talked about them because she didn't feel comfortable talking about it, and that was very well understood. But the second that you post something on social media, it feels inauthentic to the show if we're not discussing it on the radio as well.
I don't agree with that, though, by the way.
Well,
So
I
you're
don't
speaking
know
for
if
yourself
I
right now.
do.
And clarify that. You're speaking for yourself, and this is a rule that you've made up for yourself.
It's a pretty. I've always believed in transparency all around 365. If we're gonna say one thing in one space, it feels like we're lying in
And
other
this is
spaces.
how you feel about yourself and your
Yeah,
content.
can I just talk?
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm
Okay,
saying
let
is
me just
like
talk.
when you're saying that and like making it's the way that you're speaking is almost as if like you're saying it as it's a rule for the show, and it's like this is for
Okay,
yourself.
she asked me, so let me finish. So if you're gonna put something on, like, it'd be weird, I think, if I was like, hey, I have a girlfriend on social media, but on the radio I said I was single. That would look kind of inauthentic. And I think that one thing that we're big on the show is authenticity. So my mom is actually calling me. Let me see. Oh no, she hung up. She my butt on. So I just think it was interesting that all of a sudden there was a picture, and I was just like, hey, are we ready to discuss this now? Because I think that's important. Now, Jess disagrees with that. And so I'd like to hear kind of why you think that we should live one life one way and one life another way.
And the reason why I was saying that is because before we got on air, you were like, no, that's the rule. That's the rule. And that's why I was adamant about wanting you to clarify that that's how you feel. And I don't think that should be like a rule applied to all three of us, because I understand the point that you're saying of, okay, like if you're posting this on social media, but I don't think that applies to just because you're saying it in this space means that you're comfortable speaking about it in another, because this space that we're in and with the platform that we have is not a personal space. And so I feel like, and this isn't even geared towards like you specifically, Charlotte, and I can just apply this to myself, where if I were to post about something or share something about myself on my social media, I could definitely see myself feeling more comfortable because I'm sharing what I want to share, and it's in a controlled environment where I feel safe about it, where there are things that I will not be ready to bring to the air because sometimes it's hard for me to, or I'm just not ready for outside opinion like of other people. If I can't decipher how I'm feeling about something about myself, if I can't decide how I know how I feel, I may not be ready to bring it to the air because I can't allow that to confuse me and make up my mind for me. Does that kind of make sense?
I think yes and no.
So that's how I feel about it,
yeah.
to where it's like you can feel comfortable about sharing it to a certain extent on your own social media, but I don't think that should automatically mean that we have to talk about it here and that it should be brought up here without me being the person to bring it up.
I think that listeners have to have an expectation of who you are on the air. So, for example, if I say I'm single on the radio and I have a wife behind the scenes, that would be inauthentic. And I think that that's what's got to, like, for example, if you have a husband, garage boy, if you guys got divorced, and you still came on the radio every day and you said you were still married, that would have to be discussed.
Okay, let's approach that right now, because how many months did you go before announcing you and your wife's separation, and that we had to go along with pretending like everything was okay?
But on social media, I didn't change the story. My whole life was still consumed with the same. It was a congruent story here or there.
On your social, like,
I'm divorced over here, but on the radio, I wasn't saying one thing. It was a consistent story here or there.
What the thing is, because
sure,
in a way, my situation hasn't changed, so that's why I feel like
sure
it didn't feel that important.
We're getting kind of in the weeds right now. We're kind of getting in the weeds.
Let's open
bigger than we should. But that was just my point. Is like I just need to know when it's comfortable, and I just want to make sure that. And I think you've been getting close to being comfortable to this. And then when I saw you post a picture, I was like, dang, okay. Like, are we there? Is it time? Because I know you've kind of been uncomfortable even with like, is it time to talk about this or is it not?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say uncomfortable so much as like, I didn't have an update to share particularly.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mind sharing this. I was just engaging in our philosophical debate earlier.
Wait, can I say one more thing though? Because I want to go back to Jess's comment one more time.
Oh.
I also think that there are certain things that we share in different spaces. Like some things I think
Yeah.
are appropriate for the radio versus things that are appropriate for other spaces where like you might feel like I share some things on the podcast that I wouldn't share on the radio.
Right.
And I share some things on social media that I don't share on the radio.
Yeah.
And not because it just seems like a more appropriate space to share than
But exactly, and I think
than something else.
but that's how I feel too. And I also feel like it should always be up to the person that it's their story. Like I don't feel like any of us have a right to point the finger and be like you should be
But
talking
there's
about
some
this
things
right
that are
now
so big.
because it's not your life and it's not your business.
But there's some things that are big that kind of have to be like
And
discussed.
But if the person who's actually going through it is not ready to share, and that's why I brought up your thing, because that was for months that we had to keep that secret within that studio for everyone.
But that was personal. I didn't go on one platform and say one thing, and I didn't go on a different one and say a different one.
But
Do you see what I'm saying? That was friends talking behind the scenes.
But it was just a matter of
like you might
it's
tell your family you're getting divorced, but not tell like your coworkers.
But it's still like your personal story, and you weren't ready to share it yet publicly. And like I don't think and we all respected that. And I just don't think it's anyone's right to tell someone when they have to share something and when they have to share it
That's not what I'm saying. You're not understanding what I'm saying.
I'm just the point that I just made is just the point that I want to make, just how I feel in general.
Okay.
That wasn't
So
to you.
we're saying
that's just my
yes,
point.
we're saying different things then. Okay, so Charlotte, back to you. So you were in Charlotte. Why?
So I've been secretly talking to my ex for a really long time. Sorry, guys. I guess I don't even know when I started talking to my ex again, but like things are really chill. It was a really fun time. Tina, I see your comment. Oh wait, I don't know if that was about my relationship or about Kramer and Jess. Tina said she feels like you guys are going in circles. That could apply to both, frankly. But
no, I think we're saying different things. That's it.
But basically there was like obviously like a lot of combos that had to happen about stuff that went down, and like me feeling like he was ghosting me and him feeling like I didn't understand what he had said, and like just really bad miscommunication that needed to be solved. And then it was really, I don't know. It was like, you ever have those situations where like just you're both acting a damn fool, and then you both are like,
of course,
acknowledge you were acting a damn fool, essentially.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one of those.
Do we have a name for him on the podcast?
No, we don't.
Do we? This is not Mr. Pooper. This is not.
No.
Did we ever really get into the story of this guy on the podcast? I can't really remember if this was behind the scenes.
It was mostly just like me crying.
Yeah.
Because around when I started this job, we had broken up. And then we were kind of doing like the on and off dance for a bit.
Right.
I think we've honestly only talked about him once, like on here.
Yeah, I can't because I know that I want to make sure that we kind of get our story straight.
Yeah, because you guys don't really know like about how we started talking, I don't think, or like.
Well,
anything.
do you kind of want to give the backstory so we can kind of catch back up where this story was?
So this person came into my life like shortly after I moved back to Maryland from Philly, when I was like going through it. So this person's been here for me through like a lot of things, and has been in my life for like over 3 years now. So when I'm trying to remember the timeline of things. So he lived and still lives in a different state, and I had seen him and we started officially dating and all this stuff. And then right before I started this job, he kind of like randomly broke up with me and like didn't do a great job explaining what was going on in his head. So I was crashing out, and then we just didn't talk for a really long time, and I was very sad for a very long time. Is that a good synopsis?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's like the TLDR.
How long were you guys not talking?
Like a good like 5 or 6 months, I would say. But a lot of stuff changed in those months. Like that was like the root of our issues, I would say. he moved out of the state that he was really miserable in, and he lives a lot closer now, and there's just like a lot of elements that have changed, and I think things that we learned from it, because that's something I will say is like I'm wary of on and off situations, but the fact that I felt like we actually did learn and grow from it, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was a really lovely time. We're still not back together officially or anything.
So how would you
but,
define your status right now?
Like that's my long distance, low commitment situationship. Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
But it's
how are you
it's
feeling
good
about it after
for
this
me
weekend?
right now? Though, is the thing is like I
Yeah.
feel like people would hear that and think it sounds like bad, but I think
Well, what is that? How do you define that relationship then? What does that look like? So what does that mean you guys are doing? Like you're talking every day?
yeah, like someone that's there for you every day and like supports you.
You talk on the phone, you text?
We definitely text every day. We talk on the phone sometimes. Or in FaceTime sometimes and have
Yeah.
movie nights sometimes and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's I don't know, lots of
So
complicated feelings
you guys are
about
just
it.
talking. You're talking again.
Yeah.
Do you after the weekend, do you feel positive about like are you guys even thinking about like a future, or is it just kind of like let's just see how this feels?
Yeah, I think it's like we're feeling it out kind of stage right now where
Yeah.
it's like
What do you want ultimately?
I mean, it would be lovely. I mean, I want to see how things go with like the current distance between us, which is
Yeah.
a lot more manageable to be able to
Then-
drive to see
yeah.
each other on weekends versus like having to hop a flight and
Yeah.
like, you know. So I'm just interested to see like if he's going to put in the effort into like coming to see me, which I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
he knows is something that like I would like since I've only ever gone to see him.
Yeah, and that was an issue before.
Yeah, just stuff like that. So I think I know that he still has stuff in his life that he's like not happy with and wants to figure out in terms of like career and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think there is like patience and understanding on both sides because we're both like kind of not focused on it 100% right now, but it
Yeah.
is like really nice to have like that support system again.
Yeah.
Um
I think it sounds, I mean, honestly, I think it
I'm
sounds
kind of just chilling.
I think it sounds okay. Like honestly, you know, and I think I'd be honest with you if I felt like I think coming into it being skeptical. It sounds like you're skeptical but optimistic. Like you're like, let's just kind of see how this feels
Yeah.
now that things have changed. Because
And like I still have dating apps and stuff. Like I'm not actively like really looking for anything,
Yeah.
But you guys are allowed to see different people.
but like we haven't even talked about it and like the thing is
do you think you should?
probably like
Like
it's,
if he
more
was on a
so-
date with somebody else, how would you
so
feel?
that's the thing is I know that's not gonna happen because like I know he like genuinely is just like focused like I'm a lot more social than him. He's not the kind of person who's gonna like go out of his way to go on a date.
So why do you still have dating apps?
Because he was the one that broke up with me.
So you're just
and
you're just
he
kind of
knows
scared.
that I'm ready for it to be serious. But like if he's not gonna lock that down, I'm not gonna close myself off entirely. That said, I'm not actively looking for anything or like swiping or
But the
anything, you know what I mean?
expectations and like the
Yeah.
interactions are just like situationship right now.
Yeah.
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 I think that's a fine place to be. And it sounds like you're I
like
mean
there's definitely combos to still be had,
yeah.
but
Jess, thoughts?
No, I mean, I think all that matters is like whatever situation you're in and whatever you guys are calling it or not calling it. I think all that matters is that you're comfortable with what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't feel any kind of stress or pressure right now. If that changes, I think there would be combos to be had.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see like, you know, what happens if I talk about like seeing him again, you know, but like we already were kind of talking about that. So I feel like things are in a pretty good place. And I feel good with things. And I also don't feel pressure, like I have to be stressed about it, and I feel like I can still focus on like my job and like things I'm trying to work on with like
Right.
my
Sure.
personal healing journey and stuff.
Well,
So I
I
think it's chill right
I always say
now.
nothing changes unless something changes, right? Like
Yeah.
people that get back with their exes, like if nothing has changed, then like, I promise you, like nothing will change. It'll be the
Yeah.
exact same situation that
Mhm.
like you guys and you will prove that to
Yeah.
yourself.
But I think the
Um,
fact that things had
right,
changed
and
is
that's the
like a
difference.
reason I was
Willing to go.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was a really healing weekend to be able to like talk about some of the stuff
Right.
and
In person.
just like laugh and things be easy, and there was like no stress or tension or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet his like roommate and one of his like oldest friends, and I feel like that shows you like another side of someone, which is kind of cool.
Mhm.
But honestly,
Um,
I think you posting that picture said a lot. I think that
Yeah.
that you
'Cause it's
are
like at the
excited about it. Like I think
Yeah.
there's like a level of excitement, a level of investment. That's when I saw it. I was like, okay, like obviously the weekend went well. Like you
I
were.
think the photo dump is really telling because like it's not the first photo.
No, it's not.
But it's
Exactly.
casually in
But it's
there.
in
You know
there.
what I'm
Like
saying?
that's why I was like, let me
Like,
see what's going on. Oh, there he is.
and at the end of the day, like that is my friend too. Like regardless, like no, I mean like that's someone I care about very
Yeah.
deeply, and like
Well, if that photo disappears, we'll know we'll know it didn't turn
I
out
mean
too well.
I've still had photos up from our last trip actually.
Okay.
So
Charlotte, all that matters is you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
all that matters.
For
thank
sure.
you guys.
All right.
That's the
Anything
tea.
else from the trip or the weekend?
I thrifted some really cool shit. For really cheap. Like I got this like vintage NASCAR jacket for only $25. So that's
I'm
a
sure in
fucking
Charlotte there's probably plenty of
steal.
those to go around. Yeah.
But yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
There you go. Jess is setting herself up for mail fraud, and we'll see who's gonna bail her out right after this. Hang on. I am a little concerned about this. To
It
be honest
wasn't
with
mail
you.
fraud.
It sounds a little mail fraudy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It wasn't. It was just like
Mail fraud.
it was a consideration, and I didn't know. No.
Please tell me what's happening.
What? Yeah. What happened?
Okay, so in my apartment complex, like sometimes they'll deliver packages like to the wrong buildings or whatever. And whenever that happens and I see something that's like not meant to be in our building, I have like walked to, and no matter where it is, or I'll even like drive it on the other side. Like I'll go put that package like in the building that it's supposed to be in because I would want someone, you
Sure.
know,
Yeah,
like
of
whatever.
course.
That's kind.
Yeah, and so that has happened before. Now, the other day, we're driving back to our apartment and we're in the parking lot, and in the now this is like in the middle of the parking lot. Like this isn't even like on one of the steps or
Like in the
inside a building.
road?
Like this is like in the road in the middle of the parking lot, okay? And there's a small box. And I was like, "What?" And I was like, maybe like it fell out and like, "Oh, let's go like take it to a building or whatever."
Yeah.
And we look at it and the address is not our address and it's not even a Maryland address. Like
Huh?
the delivery address is like somewhere in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
But the box was Nespresso pods. So I was like, wait a second. I was like, well, and I look
Dang.
at Garage Boy and I'm like, okay, because at first I was like, oh, go grab it so we can take it to who it needs to be.
Yeah.
And he brings it in the car, and I was like, hold up. Those are Nespresso pods, and these, and mind you, even if they were Nespresso pods, and I have done this before, I don't want you to think I'm like stealing Nespresso pods. Like, so I have gotten,
Well.
I have seen an Espresso pod delivery
Well.
package, and it was not mine, and it was somebody else's, and I have taken that to that neighbor. Okay, so I'm
Okay.
not like stealing other people's stuff.
You're not like porch pirate. Over
No,
here.
no, no, no,
Yeah,
no. This
yeah.
was like in the middle of the road, and I was
Mhm.
going to deliver it to whoever. But then I saw him like, this isn't even like around the corner. This is legitimately like in a different state. Like, why is this in the middle of the road? But
Sure.
it was an espresso delivery. And so I looked at Garage Boy and I was like, does this mean we can keep it since it doesn't have to go anywhere like near here and it's not even in the state? And he was like, no, we need to take that to the front office because clearly it probably like fell off of the truck.
Right.
And I
then
was
the front
like,
office is just gonna keep it.
and I was like, well, are you sure? Because it'd be one thing if the delivery address was even local.
Right.
Like that I could totally see. And if it was down the street, honestly, I probably would have dropped it off. Like,
Yeah.
no thing.
Right.
But the fact that it's a literal state away could I have kept that? Like, is that terrible? And he was like, no, we're not keeping this. Like, we're taking this back to the front office. And I was like, no, you're right. My bad.
So you took it back?
Yeah, we took it back.
Why you roll your eyes?
But is that wrong? Like, would it have been wrong to keep the Nespresso pot?
No,
Damn.
you're off the hook.
Bro.
It's over state lines. Come on.
Like, what?
Okay, so legally, let's talk about
Yeah,
legally.
legally, is that stealing?
Yeah, legally it's stealing. You can't open other people's packages. Like legally, no, you can't do that. But like morally, if it's one of your neighbors,
Yes.
it's fucked up.
No,
right?
totally.
Like, because if that was a Jess Dutra package,
yes.
I would say even if it's somewhere, if it's like anywhere in Maryland,
If it was in
would
Maryland,
feel
this
bad.
wouldn't even be
Now,
a combo.
we have you guys that live all over the world that listen to this podcast. So let's
and it wasn't
explain-
being sent from Maryland either. It wasn't like a two from like, you know,
Right.
oh, my grandma is sending me some, you know, it wasn't even like that.
Now, just so you guys understand, that don't live in Maryland. Maryland is pretty close to Pennsylvania. Like it could be an hour drive. So like
Yeah.
if people live in California, you know, we say California to Portland, that can be 10 hours.
Mm.
But like when we say Maryland to Pennsylvania, I mean it's
But
a hop, skip,
also,
and
it
jump.
could be like 5 hours,
It could
depending on
be.
where
It
in
could
Pennsylvania,
be.
because Pennsylvania
That's
is huge.
Right. So, but it could be close.
Did you guys
too.
look where? Did you
Give me
like
the
do a little
address.
Apple Maps?
I didn't recognize, no, not at all. And I also
didn't
didn't,
recognize-
I
okay.
didn't recognize the town or city in PA
Then those
either.
were your Nespresso pods, dude.
Because that's the thing. Okay, now if you knew, like, let's take just, like something that we're into. Like let's say it was like a new. Let's say it was the box said like Nintendo on it. Okay, and like
Wait,
whatever.
that's worth so much more,
But
though.
like, but then maybe like not a Nintendo Switch or something, but like let's just say it's like a Nintendo
accessory,
accessory,
or, something.
or
Okay,
like
okay.
like just a
Game.
gift box or something. And whatever your thing that you're into or whatever. Like, would you have kept that package if it was not even somebody that was near your house? Or would
a different
you,
state.
and again, it's not even, here's the thing, like you would have gotten away with it scot-free, because I think my second paranoia would have been that like UPS, whoever would have like come back to my house and been like, oh shit, like we delivered this to your house, give it back. But like
way.
you found the package in the middle of the road.
In the middle of the street.
Right.
Not even like in a parking spot. In the middle of the road. Like, I think this genuinely just fell off the truck, for real, for real. Amber says the laws about opening people's mail applies to USPS post office mail. So if it fell off FedEx or UPS, I don't think it would have been mail fraud.
Wait, do we actually know that,
Yeah.
Amber? Wait, or do you know that, or are you just saying that? Because I don't. We
Package
we just trust people blindly on here, so I don't even know if that's true or not. But
Because also too, you guys, on the
I don't know if that's
package,
true.
on the package itself, like the to from, it's not like it was handwritten, it was like printed. So I
Yeah.
almost feel like it was like a business or something.
So that brings me to my point. I was going to say my rule of thumb, if it looked like it was from someone's small business, like a little guy,
No,
then you
yeah.
have to send it back.
Yeah.
But if it's from any kind of big
it's like
corporation,
Nespresso-
that's some
Nespresso.
fucking Robin Hood shit.
Yeah.
Get in there. That's your coffee.
Okay,
he
but-
made me
but
give
hang
it
on.
back. He made me take it to the
But
front
hang on.
office.
But let's play it the other way. Let's say that like that is a single mom. She's struggling. Like she paid.
Oh, dude, if it was handwritten, it wouldn't even have crossed my mind. I would have taken it back. It was because it was like, it looked digital and it looked like corporate-y.
yeah.
In my brain, it didn't matter.
And
like,
even
you know,
if it was like a
I
single
didn't-
mom,
I didn't
all
find
she
it
has to
important.
do is report that it didn't get delivered.
Yeah.
That's true.
on
That's
Espresso
true.
to re-deliver it.
Yeah.
That's not
Okay.
on.
I mean, I
You're
probably.
in the clear.
Yeah, I think I probably would.
Dang
That was a flop. That was a flop.
Why was he so adamant? He just always does the right thing, doesn't he?
yeah. And I was
That's
like,
why we love him.
Yeah.
I
I
know, but I
know.
was like, you don't even use the Nespresso. It's
I know.
for me.
I know. That's true. Why'd you even ask him then?
Because we were together.
Oh, yeah.
He just went and grabbed it, and then he was holding the box, and I was like, we should just keep it. And because the box was in his hands, he's like, no, we're gonna take it back. And I
Well,
was
shout
like,
out to your office. They're enjoying some really nice.
They
Yeah,
are.
you know they kept it.
Absolutely kept
it.
it.
I would too, yeah.
damn it.
All right, there you go. There's your Uncensored for the week. Thank you guys for being here. I just saw this too, so I wasn't keeping up the chat. Going back to Charlotte's topic, Amber on YouTube says, getting back with exes is just called retrosexual,
That's funny.
which is funny. Not only is it funny, but it just gave us the title of this podcast. So thank you so much. Thank you so
Shout
much
out
for that,
Amber.
Amber. Yeah, thank you for that. All right. We are done for this week. We should be back next week. I don't see why not. I think everyone's hopefully going to stay well. And I do have a question. Right? We're running out of time for the day, but I want everyone, this is going to be everyone's homework, is what body count number would make you uncomfortable if you found out that was your partner's body count number? I'll explain why that's important next week, but like what number would make you uncomfortable? Like, is there a number, like, or would you be fine with whatever? And I'll explain why that number is important next week. All right, Jess, get us out of here.
Follow us all on our socials. You can follow me at Just Do It, JESSDUITT.
Charlotte?
Well, I guess if you want to go see a picture of me and my ex together, you can follow me at PTSD Diva.
Wait, what did you call him? Your what? Low? What
That's my long distance, low commitment situation.
Yeah, I know everybody wants to go see that.
Heyo. He could have just been a friend formerly, but now everybody knows.
Now you know the scoop. Or you can go follow me. I'm that guy Kramer. Listen, my life will look consistent on all my platforms. If I got tea, you got to pay for that, and that tea is on my More Mama's Boy podcast. It's only $6 a month though, but that's where you guys get the real scoop.
Nice plug there.
See what I did there? Yeah, it's gonna cost you money. It's my podcast is called Certified Mama's Boy. Thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube. You guys are fun, man. Amber, you had some bangers today, so thank you for that. See y'all next week. Bye.